What is up, guys? I'm back here for another bodybuilding news roundup video. Here in the last few days, we have Rafael Brandao confirming the news that he's no longer working with his former coach, Chris Aceto. Now, Chris Aceto was Brandao's coach for the last 5 years. He helped him get his first two pro wins at the Romania Muscle Fest and the Arnold Classic South America, which ultimately qualified him for his first Mr. Olympia, where he placed 10th place last year in the men's open. And he confirms here that he is no longer working with Chris, but he does not say who he will be working with going forward. Now, Rafa was actually recently in the hospital with some sort of serious condition. So I'm not sure his competitive plans for the rest of the year, what shows he'll be doing, and if he'll be competing at all, really. So next up, I wanted to bring you a physique update from Vlad'S Suhoruchko, Vlad the Impaler. He is a little less than 3 weeks out from the Empro Classic in Spain. Now, Vlad hasn't confirmed that he will be doing this show, but all signs point to the fact that he will be competing in Spain in a little less than 3 weeks' time. Here he's posing with Andrew Jacked. Now, Vlad won last year the Yamamoto Italy show, and he did not place in the top 15 at the Mr. Olympia, but he's coming for redemption this year. He looks absolutely massive, full of muscle, always comes in hard. You see, he's working here with his coach, Dennis Wolf. Yeah, I expect big things from Vlad this year. I mean, he's going to go head to head with Michal Krizo at that Empro Classic over in Spain in a few weeks' time. So it should be a good battle between those two. You see, he really isn't lacking anything in the gym. He looks like he can beat Mr. Olympia. He's hard, round, full. He doesn't have any weaknesses. He's crazy strong at the gym. Yeah, not too many weaknesses from him. Next up in the news, I want to show you the latest physique update from Michal Krizo. Like I said, Krizo is a little less than 3 weeks out from the Empro Classic, which is on June 17th over in Spain. Here we see him in that side tricep shot, just like Vlad. He's tall, very muscular, and there's not a lot of holes in his physique. I'm really excited to see these two go head to head over in Spain in a few weeks. You see, he's in the crab most muscular shot. He looks absolutely massive there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see those two go head to head over in Spain, as I was saying. All right. Next up, we have the physique update from Good Vito. Now, Good Vito turned pro last year at a show over in Brazil and was without a coach for a while, and recently started working with Chris Aceto. We had just mentioned, you see Chris Aceto commenting here. Chris Aceto is no longer working with Rafael Brandao, and he has found it hasn't taken much time for him to find a replacement. And you see here, Good Vito still holding good off-season shape. And like I said, this guy is one of the most exciting guys coming into the IFBB Pro League. He has not made his pro debut yet, so I imagine he's going to compete sometime this year. Oh, he says right here, 15 weeks until the championship. I didn't catch that when I was planning for this video. So I imagine he's going to do a European show later in the year. Still has 4 weeks to prepare. So let's see, sometime in September is when we'll be competing. Yeah, maybe we can see him go up against Nathan Diasha, because I know Nathan Diasha is doing 3 European shows later in the year, Spain, Italy, and France. So I'm sure Good Vito has his eye on one of those shows. just wanted to show you guys here the off-season update from Good Vito. He's going to be beginning his prep here soon under the guidance of Chris Aceto, so I'm really excited to see what he has to offer and if he can claim his place at the Mr. Olympia this year. All right, next up we have a physique update from Neil Curry. Now, Neil Curry is a hostile athlete that is the supplement brand owned by Vlad'S. Now, Neil has made the step up to the open class this year. He was formerly a classic physique competitor. Now he's making that step up to the open class. He just couldn't handle pulling his weight down to 215 pounds, which was his weight class for being 5'11" in the classic physique. So, as he says here, he's 24 and 25 weeks out of his open bodybuilding debut. Now, I believe these shows that he's targeting here are a couple European shows on the back of the Olympia in 2023. So he's not targeting a qualification for this year's Mr. Olympia. He has his eyes set on 2 European shows right after the Olympia ends to get that early qualification for 2024. Now, I think those 2 shows, I haven't looked at the schedule too closely, but I believe those 2 shows are the Elvis Prague over in Czech Republic and the Romania Muscle Fest over in Bucharest. So I'm really excited for Neil. He's looking very good under the guidance of Ben Chow. He's put on a ton of muscle since the Olympia. Of course, like I said, he was 215 pounds. I think one of his latest updates, he said he was up to 270. So I'm very excited to see what Neil has going forward in the open class. I think he has a bright future. And just bodybuilding is a really exciting time. Next up, I want to show you a physique update from Justin Shier. Justin is 8 weeks out of the Chicago Pro. You see here, a nice side chest and a frontal bicep. You see it's really coming together here for Justin. His shape is even more pronounced as he's dieting down. His waist is coming in. He has those flaring lats from the front. He really isn't missing too many body parts. I wouldn't say he has any glaring weaknesses. His shape is really what is going to carry him moving forward because he's not the most muscular guy. I presume on stage he'll be somewhere in that 230 to 235 range. I think he's like 5'9". So he doesn't pack on loads of muscle, but the way everything comes together with his shape, his flow, that's really what's going to carry him moving forward. And he has a real shot of winning the Chicago Pro. Excuse me. Of course, this is his pro debut. He'll be coming up against Blessing Awodibu, who we will be talking about pretty soon. Here, you see Justin shows the front relaxed shot. It's absolutely insane. He has those flaring quads, the lats that look so thick from the front, cap delts, big arms. Like I said, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And also, some news on Justin Shier. He also, excuse me, why am I saying also so much? He just signed with a new supplement company. So a few weeks ago, he announced that he parted ways with Hostile Supplements, which is Vlad'S nutrition line, and he is signed with Trained by JP. So I know Jordan is a big fan of Justin, and this was announced just a few hours ago that he's signed with Trained by JP. So yeah, that's some exciting news for Justin. Last up, I want to show you a physique update from my man, the Boogeyman, who is a little less than 8 weeks out of the Chicago Pro. He shows us here a most muscular shot. Those quads are looking much better than last year. That was one of the main doubts of Blessing going into this show. Would those quads come up to match the upper body? And Blessing, just like Justin, he has a beautiful shape, a flow to his physique. He packs on a bit more muscle than Justin. I know he's also a bit taller. He's about 5'10", I believe, but he competes somewhere in the mid 240s to 250. So yeah, he's looking really good. He also announced here that he was having a child with his partner. I'm not sure the weight of Blessing, but I think he is somewhere still in the 270s, so he's looking absolutely massive. I can't wait to see him and Justin go head to head for that Chicago Pro in 7.5 weeks' time. All right, moving on to a preview of the Toronto Pro, which will be taking place this weekend, June 4th on the Sunday. We have the front runner for the show, Ian Valliere, who is working with Matt Jensen. Now, Ian didn't perform exactly how he wanted to at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, placing 12th place, dropping from 7th place in the year prior. So he's looking for redemption. He's no longer working with Patrick Tor. He's back with Matt Jensen, who he had previously worked with up until 2019. So you see his condition is out of this world. He's one of the most conditioned guys in the IFBB Pro League. The quads are separated, vascular, striated, looking absolutely crazy. And I expect nothing else from Ian but to win the 2023 Toronto Pro. And moving on to his biggest competition in the lineup should be Hassan Mostafa, who is now working with Chad Nichols, Big Rami's coach. Hassan won 2 shows last year at the Orlando Pro and also the Puerto Rico Pro. Was unable to make it to the Olympia because of health concerns, but I believe Hassan will be Ian's biggest competition going into that Toronto Pro. He packs a ton of muscle on his frame. I just hope that he's able to come into condition and bring his absolute best to that Toronto Pro. Another person who should be doing that show is Mohammed Shaban, who also competed at the 2022, Mr. Olympia. Didn't place in the top 15, but he is another serious competitor. Placed 10th place in the 2021 Mr. Olympia. So yeah, he's looking absolutely insane. This was his last look, I think last year, the Cal Pro in which he won. So I'm excited to see what Shaban has to bring to this year's Toronto Pro. And last up, who will be competing in that Toronto Pro is my man, Ross Flanagan, the sauce boss. So he won the 2023 Cal Pro last weekend and was not expected to win, but he came in at his absolute best with his coach, under the guidance of his coach, Dominic Cardone, and he's coming into that Toronto Pro this coming weekend. So my predictions for the Toronto Pro, I have Ian in first, Hassan in second, third, I'm going to put Ross Flanagan, fourth, I'm going to put Mohammed Shaban, who I just showed you, and fifth, he isn't confirmed on the lineup because I checked just before I started filming, but I'm going to put Sergio Oliva in the top 5 for the Toronto Pro. He isn't confirmed to do the show, but I think he's going to jump in because he doesn't have a whole lot of time to qualify, to be honest, because there aren't too many more shows to do in the United States. I mean, I know Toronto's in Canada, but later in the month, there's a few European shows. I don't see him going over to Spain. Then after that, we have the Orlando Pro, which is going to be a highly contested show. I know Hassan is also doing that one. Stanimal, Stan Delangeau will also be doing that. So there aren't too many more American shows here in the States for Sergio to qualify unless he keeps on dragging out his prep, because I know he began prep at the beginning of this year in January, so he's already been prepping for 5 months. I'm sure he wants a little downtime before he gets into his Olympia prep if he's able to qualify. But the quality that Sergio brings, he should have no problem qualifying, but I believe he will enter the Toronto Pro and will be somewhere in that top five. I have him in fifth position. That's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. We're out.